across the river and at night. This is how Germany is currently transferring unwanted illegal immigrants to Poland. This information was received by the Border Defense Movement from its informant. He told us that last night between 2 and 2:30 a.m., he saw buses arrive from the German side, from which they dropped off a dozen or so people and told them to walk this way, where the grass is trampled. It is shallow enough that the water is ankle deep in this spot. Until now, the German authorities simply handed the immigrants over to the Polish border guards, but more and more often, these situations are being recorded by Poles. Lubieszyn, border crossing. If you want, go ahead, take a look. I can't do much because there are threats here too. Here the Gestapo and SS are dropping off engineers, so to say. This recording is from yesterday in Lubieszyn, and this one is from a few days ago in Zgorzelec. Here we can see how the Germans are dropping off migrants to the Poles, the whole team, and they are already being led to the other side. They are still crossing, blocking traffic, and they are leading everyone. But according to the government, the claim that Germany is transferring migrants to Poland is misinformation. The German side informs the border guard about the refusal of entry of a given foreigner, and the officers take appropriate action, including applying to the courts to place foreigners in guarded centers if the conditions for this are met. This system fully protects the interests of the Polish side. It is proven ineffective. Interesting, because there are no more places in immigration centers, and more often, they end up in orphanages. This was the case among others in Izdebno, near Garwolin, Pęchery near Warsaw, Police, Ciechanów, and Skierniewice. These boys are supposedly imposing their will, saying that girls dress immodestly, demanding that they dress differently, according to their rules, according to their religion. What is this? This is imposing Sharia law. And where? In an orphanage. Others wander aimlessly through the streets of Polish cities. Brutal beatings, familiar from Western Europe, have also begun, like here in Warsaw, where a foreign food delivery man attacked a Polish security guard. This is also Warsaw, and another brutal beating. In Kościerzyna, a 27-year-old Colombian man who tried to steal a wallet from one of the city's residents was detained by citizens. He was handed over to the police. The opposition is talking about a new phase of hybrid war. It is clear that this war has a new face, and that we are currently under attack both on the eastern border, where we have a barrier that is being physically stormed, and on the western border, where we have no barrier. Thanks to this, the German services are helping them to get into Poland, which is an incredible scandal and must be stopped. Hence, the mass protest by Poles. Słupsk, Toruń, Radom, Koszalin,
Po granicach Boże święta, niech to każdy zapamięta.
Lubieszyn. Different cities, one goal: to stop mass illegal immigration from Germany. This is fascism, imposing values through ideology and forcing us to accept something we don't really want. We have the strength to unite, whether we are on the right or the left. We've all had enough. In a few days, probably the entire border and all of Poland will see that something is happening. In Świnoujście, protesters blocked the border crossing with Germany. I am here primarily as a woman, and I would like to thank you all, especially the men here, from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to your attitude, I feel much safer. I know that the state is not doing its job and that, unfortunately, Poles have to take matters into their own hands. I hope that this government will come to its senses, that it will move to protect our borders, that it will do exactly what we pay taxes for. The protest was peaceful, but immediately after it ended, the police used tear gas against the participants. However, they did not allow themselves to be provoked. It seems that the Polish state is not acting in accordance with the law today, breaking the moral backbone of our officers, and as shown here in the footage from Świnoujście, even allowing situations where police officers are attacking Polish patriots. But patriots will certainly not give up. Leaflets for illegal immigrants with a clear message in English, Arabic, and Somali will be printed shortly. That you are not welcome here, that if you do anything to our women, the Polish police police will not protect you, that if you try to impose your laws on us here, the police will not protect you from the wrath of society. And at the same time, you have no social benefits here. So try to get through the forest, through Germany, through the Czech Republic, however you want. Get to Germany, because you are not welcome here. The same leaflets will also contain information on where immigrants can seek help, along with the addresses of the offices of the Civic Coalition MPs. Polish President Andrzej Duda made a farewell visit to Kyiv at the invitation of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Andrzej Duda's presidency was crucial in securing global support for Kyiv. TV Republika has published an excerpt from President Duda's book, in which he reveals details of the political background to what was happening around Ukraine. President Andrzej Duda announced that he would visit Kyiv before the end of his term, and he kept his promise. The first item on the agenda was the laying of wreaths at the wall commemorating those who died for Ukraine. As a guest of honor, President Andrzej Duda took part in the celebrations of Ukraine's Constitution Day. Volodymyr Zelensky awarded Polish President Duda with the Order of Freedom in recognition of his contribution to strengthening international cooperation between Ukraine and Poland. It is the highest Ukrainian decoration. The presidents discussed further cooperation in Kyiv, especially on security issues. The visit was of symbolic importance.
Podróż tutaj do Kijowa.
This trip to Kyiv is also a farewell trip for me, closing this extremely important period in my life and my presidential service to Poland, during which I cooperated with Mr. Volodymyr and also participated in and supported the defense of Ukraine against Russian aggression. Andrzej Duda's presidency will go down in Ukrainian history. From the beginning of Russia's invasion, Andrzej Duda supported Ukraine and urged international leaders to support the attacked country. The president has been with us, and I am not exaggerating, from the very first hours of our war, and it is impossible to overestimate everything we have done together with Poland. We have jointly launched a transshipment hub in Rzeszów. Poland has always been with us, supporting us at all levels, internationally, in the European Union and in NATO. President Andrzej Duda also visited the Polish War Cemetery in Kyiv-Bykivnia. Polish-Ukrainian relations have had their ups and downs in recent years. Historical issues have still not been resolved. However, the enormous support that came from Poland in the first days of Russian aggression wrote a new chapter in our relations. Ukraine did not fall after 3 days, and the fact that the Ukrainians did not surrender is largely thanks to President Andrzej Duda and Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. First, weapons and ammunition flowed from Poland, then tanks, then planes, then aid for Ukrainians who fled to Poland. And that required quick and courageous decisions at the time, certainly not decisions such as sending 7,000 helmets, as Germany did. President Andrzej Duda visited Kyiv many times, the most famous and memorable of which took place the day before the outbreak of full-scale war, on February 23, 2022. The president talks about the historic visit, among other things, in his book, To ja, Andrzej Duda. It's me, Andrzej Duda. The hosts lay their cards on the table. We will probably be attacked by Russia within the next 24 hours. My priority now was to ensure that history did not repeat itself, that the West's declarations of solidarity with this part of Europe did not end with fine words. I looked at him with the dramatic information that had just been unequivocally confirmed literally moments ago. There was only one conclusion. The Russians really had the potential to attack Kyiv and take it over in a relatively short time. Volodymyr knows he is risking his life. The outgoing president shared his experiences from his time in office. No embellishments, no censorship, a behind-the-scenes account of the decisions that shaped the fate of Poland and Europe. Never before reported conversations with leading politicians in Poland and around the world. President Andrzej Duda leaves behind a huge legacy that will pay off in the future. President-elect Karol Nawrocki has many challenges ahead of him, but as experience has shown, even as a presidential candidate, he was able to effectively lobby for Polish interests in the White House itself. The meteorological services of Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Greece warned on Friday that the last weekend of June will be the hottest so far this year. To be honest, since we're in Madrid and there's no sea or water parks here, I can't cope with it. Luckily, we have air conditioning at work. For the residents of Madrid, every day has become a struggle for survival. This year is extreme. Last year, at least you could go out at this time of day, but now there's no way. People are drinking a lot more water. The early arrival of extreme heat has taken many tourists in Athens by surprise. Visitors to the Acropolis are looking for any bit of shade they can find.
I think it is difficult for them. I told them to have water with them, and we were very lucky today.
Portugal is preparing for extreme temperatures, which are expected to reach 44 degrees Celsius in the coming days. We will reach very high temperatures, especially in the inland regions of Alentejo. Some inland areas in the north and center may reach over 40 degrees, even 43 to 44 degrees Celsius. It is also expected to be hot in France, the Balkans, and even in the United Kingdom. The 200,000 attendees of the Glastonbury Music Festival are facing extreme temperatures, as are the participants of the Grand Slam tennis tournament at Wimbledon, which began on Monday.
I'm standing in the shade with my hat. I'm drinking plenty. Not necessarily alcohol.
Bit of shade here and there, go in the tent here and there, maybe go in the bar, have a drink, but yeah, plenty of sun cream.
I had to leave my campground and my eyes were burning. I had to run to the toilet like this because I couldn't see because it was so hot and sunny.
According to the Telegraph, the cause of such high temperatures is a heat dome hovering over much of Europe. It is a vast area of high pressure that traps hot air and causes heat waves. Fires caused by a heat wave are raging in 5 provinces of Turkey. The disaster struck, among others, Antalya, a popular tourist destination. Farmers trapped in the flames were among those in need of help. The firefighters' efforts are hampered by strong winds, which are causing the fire to spread rapidly. Residents of some areas have been evacuated. It will also be very hot in Poland. According to weather forecasts, the hottest day will be on the 3rd of July. On that day, thermometers in many regions of Poland, especially in the western and central parts of the country, will reach up to 35 degrees Celsius.